Hello, everyone. Thanks a lot for joining me for this types of marketing series. Today, we have a very important and crucial topic, which is performance marketing. So, marketing has evolved quite a lot over the period of time. When industries and all are there since, say, the last 50 years, how the businesses have evolved. Digital marketing, let's say, has been relevant since the last 15 years and has made the full marketing ecosystem quite diversified and accessible to a lot of brands. Majorly, like when you used to think of marketing more than 15 years back, even in terms of employment, there were very few positions in marketing in various companies, very small teams and all. But today, if you compare that, I mean, you have every other person can be a marketer in the sense like you are marketing yourself on various channels. You have your products or services what you're selling, so indirectly everyone is in marketing and is accessible at budgets. I mean, it could be as low as, say, someone is spending, say, 1,000 rupees a month, or some big brands who are spending say, a crore of rupees a month, on their marketing. So it's become, I mean, say they, I would say it's a great thing that it's accessible to everyone, but then the knowledge you need to carry it, you should understand, so that you use your marketing budget judiciously and you can reach a lot of people for um, a kind of a cost which is manageable within the marketing budget. So let us start off. What is performance marketing? So now performance marketing is very specific for results, right? So now if you take the other kinds of marketing, if you have, say, your search engine optimization, or you have your social media marketing, so that kind of takes time, right? That takes time to evolve. In terms of of getting results, I would say why performance marketing is kind of important, and in driving, like, you have a certain budget. Just a second. Yeah, I'm sorry, there was some I had to work around my, there was some tech issue in my laptop, so I had to just work around that. So in terms of performance marketing, it is driven by results. So you want to reach a certain audience specifically in a certain amount of time. You have like very specific goals which you want to just reach. There are certain marketing goals that I have to reach, so I'm ready to pay for it. So going along how the digital marketing ecosystem evolved, that there are so many, I mean, players here. You can say marketing service providers that will provide you, if you have a budget, you can get a certain amount of reach. Or if there are some very specific actions like click, sale, or lead, those all you can define, and then according to your budget you can drive them how much you want. So I would say performance marketing, is basically a certain amount of budget you are having, and you want very specific results. That I want, these many clicks or a certain sale or lead only, and on the basis of that, I want to pay. So it's a performance based marketing. Like you have certain programs, like many people, they work on a commission, so it is completely a performance based job. So same here in the performance based marketing. Still, it is not that simple in terms of, like, I can just define that I would want this kind of a performance for my and I'm ready to pay on that. It is a bit more complex because say you have a certain amount of clicks, like for an ad, say I get 1,000 clicks, but that has to convert into something, a sale, or I would say. So those all things, it's not necessary that it happens. It's only if all your marketing activities and your businesses, everything's in place and things are say clicking, then only it will happen. But as a performance marketer, you would have a certain accountability that with a certain amount of budget, I would want this amount of a result in terms of a sale. Because at the end of the day, for the business person, it is the sale. If he is putting this much money, so there is more specificity in performance marketing, that if I have put in a lakh of rupees, I would want, say, 10 lakh worth of sale in that. So very specific way you can move forward. That is why this full there are a lot of performance marketing channels there, so that it is very attractive for companies who have a limited budget, as well as uh, somewhere that they just want to directly reach that particular goal, that I want just this amount of impressions for my advertisement, I just want these amount of people coming to my site, very specific. So that kind of, with performance marketing, you can overcome that hurdle, which can be a little bit more unpredictable in the other forms of marketing. But in performance marketing, is you kind of have an idea of where you're going with a certain amount of budget. So, what are the benefits of performance marketing? So, firstly, you would, as a smaller brand, you would get more reach. Generally, if you have not, built your brand over a period of time, you won't get that amount of views. Like, it's like someone say you have release an advertisement, you have a video or YouTube video, you won't get that amount of reach, right? Because the brand, nobody really knows about it initially, they'll not share it. But with, say, if you do YouTube advertising, you would get more reach. So that would come under performance marketing, because you'll be paying this much, and YouTube is saying that you will be getting at least, let's say, the impressions, like, say, that what happens, you see on YouTube that you can then skip at least, you are getting that amount of impressions. Then it is a performance of your ad if they skip and go through, but you are guaranteed a certain amount of reach. So that would reach would obviously, if it's more, the better. And with performance marketing, that is indirectly giving you a guarantee for that. Then you have, it is that it is more budget friendly, because as I said, with a very small budget also you can start off in performance. You can have like Instagram advertisement. For that, there are many homegrown D2C brands who didn't have much of a budget, just maybe a bootstrap startup, but they, with the help of the performance marketing in the form of, say, Instagram advertising, they were able to reach a very specific audience. They didn't have need to waste, because in generally in advertising, what happens is there is a lot of wastage, because you are, end of the day, the people, most of the people who are seeing your ad are not relevant in the first place, right? And this is a huge, it could be like up to 60, even 70%. That is where a lot of money is being, that is a complaint of so many businessmen. And they would place the blame also on the marketers, which also, I mean, there is a limit up to which they can also work. Like, even they don't know, like, it's like a very creative profession, what will click with an audience. So in this particular case, I would say, uh, being more budget friendly, like you have a very small budget, you can reach a very specific audience, because that is, they are able to identify that with the various signals, Instagram or any social media network, like in terms of what you're watching, your interests would come under that. And most likely, what brands you have been watching, say, videos of, or you, who you're following, all those things just go into their algorithm, and then they kind of your ad is able to reach more very specific audience. Then it is, I would say, it's quite highly measurable. That is what the top management or the CEO would want. Like, I would want more transparency, and I can measure, what am I getting if I'm putting this much amount of money, or if I have a target, I am getting it right. For this, I would want this amount of. Now it has come down to honestly even sales, uh, very specific, that if I am putting this much money, say I'm putting 5 lakh rupees a month in my performance marketing, I would want to get this amount of sale. If it's not, then it is unsuccessful. So it's becoming that specific and measurable, which obviously leads to more challenges for performance marketers. But with honing their skills and playing around on those platforms, uh, there is definitely a way which you can kind of play with this and get better at it, right? Because end of the day, uh, these kind of challenges, I would make you better in honing your skills and doing bit of A and B testing and experimentation, and you keep getting kind of better at your performance marketing efforts. Now, in general, in performance marketing, what kind of metrics are there? Now, these would be applicable for there are multiple platforms, say Facebook, Instagram, you have LinkedIn, you would have Google ads in terms of say search ads, display ads. You would have YouTube, but generally, what are the metrics which would be kind of applicable on all the platforms? And when you're doing performance marketing, what kind of metrics do we kind of mostly discuss? So, firstly, we have CPC, most common cost per click. How much does it cost in terms of just to get a particular click for you? Because that would you would calculate it as the amount of money you spent on that campaign and how many clicks you have got. So if you spend say 100 rupees and you have got 10 clicks, so that would be your cost per click would be like 10. So you have to be aware of this very important CPC, because when you are kind of working on this on a mass scale, you have multiple campaigns running, you would have an idea that okay, this is my cost per click for this kind of advertisement, and also you have to keep a measure on it. Then you have cost per impression, like CPM, not exactly impression, because that would say around 1,000 impressions. It's like cost per mil or something. It's exactly so 1,000 impression, because in digital, honestly, an impression is one impression is like kind of negligible. What people like, even if you are seeing something, you just kind of on your screen you scroll through without even, so that it's hardly that counts. So it's, you would look at a bigger subset or set of what you are kind of seeing. So let's say 1,000 impressions would be something that okay, I this is the cost for 1,000 impressions for me. Then you have cost per leads. Cost per lead would be generally in, I would say, in a B2B scenario where you want that person to give his information, contact number, then your sales team can get in touch with that person. So cost, how much it would cost for the particular lead. So it would consider everything. That person would click on your advertisement or digital ad, then you would come on your website, then person would see your content, like it, or take an ebook or something, and then would give their say email ID or contact number. So all those considering, then it would come to the cost per lead, which is quite expensive. Like if you say a B2B, say a SaaS product industry and all, to get a particular lead. That's why your accordingly your whole system, your sale, how much it costs. You have to be aware of everything in terms of what it has to. You have to charge also, because this is a very important. Like in SaaS product marketing, I would say search advertising is so important. Then you have your cost per sale. This would be more specific for e-commerce companies, because there it is out and out. What you get is the particular like sale. If I have given an advertisement for a T-shirt, and then I people come on your site, the only thing that would concern me at that whether e-commerce is the sale. Anyway, that is a much lesser ticket size, I would say, in terms of just the, so you would just come, you don't come to what is a lead, like you are selling a product. So no one is gonna, contact that person. Okay, as, or you filled a form and then you're going, and then then we will convince you to buy the t-shirt. So these are like kind of small sale involved in this. So then it will be directly the, what is my cost for that sale if I have put that much money in my performance marketing campaign, like uh, how much it cost me to sell one t-shirt or something. And lastly, you would say is your cost per acquisition. So acquisition is more beyond, like, say, and cost per sale is more relevant for e-commerce. Cost per acquisition would be like what you would want, in terms of you are acquiring customer. It could be like, say, Netflix is doing kind of a display advertising or YouTube advertising. So it would kind of get an idea that how much, say, a person takes a subscription. So it's kind of tracking the whole thing. So that would be like the cost per acquisition. It could also be that there's some, not a sale per se, or some kind of an opt-in. So my acquisition would be like, say, somebody, I've done an ad for an event and people will go on to that particular event, and event page per se, the landing page, and then they would just kind of give in the details or something. So that is something for me. It's like a cost per acquisition. That's what I want. Like, or somebody is, say, subscribing to my channel on YouTube or something, that would be ultimate. So I have YouTube advertising things, that would be a cost to acquisition. Is kind of more specific, like what I would say that this is a final action that I would want on this particular. So it won't, because lead is something there you have to kind of work on it, right? Then further to get some a sale or some kind of whatever you define as your business goal, in that acquisition would be down to the business goal um, itself. Awesome. So what are the types of performance marketing? So we've discussed everything, what all would come under performance marketing, but when you're actually doing performance marketing, what would come under that? So firstly, you have social media ads. All kind of social media platforms today have ads. That is how they monetize. So initially when they come, they want to get on any social media platform that you've seen. Initially it is ad free, but then once you gain a kind of popularity, you have to monetize, right? Because there are so many costs involved in that running that particular platform. And also, you, at end of the day, then you have to monetize. So how they monetize is with the social media ads. So the social media ads, um, basically, any social media platform, they have their particular dashboard, and they, define in that, they have a complete process that you have to. So being a performance marketer, I would say the most obvious would be, say, the Facebook advertisements and Instagram advertisements. That would, you have to have an expertise, a certain amount of, I think they have, in certifications for that. So get an understanding of how, the basic ad goes. How do you, define your particular audience? What good ad copy? How do you kind of create that? How do you kind of distribute that within the social media network? And also, you get into details in that quite a bit, but considering the reach, you have to select the particular platform, right? That which would be the best possible, and then within that you have to do more targeting. Then you have search engine marketing. Here, everything like this, I would say, is mostly I will Google advertising, your search ads, your display ads. Uh, it would also have, I think, a little bit of Bing, the Yahoo search and all. But see, relevant to India, I would say mostly most of the companies, they are just doing Google advertising. So Google may, it's again a very vast. There are so many brands, agencies who hire, Google ad specialists and all. They also call search engine marketing managers or something. So their job is quite vast. So you have a certain amount of budget, and then you have to get maximum people to click from a search ad. So you have to maintain a complete list of your headings of your keyword categories, and then under that you have so many hundreds of keywords. Then inside that also you would have your advertisements, your different kind of ads for the different keywords, and many other things, how you kind of targeting your bidding, and also they are quite a few. It's very vast, so it would be under search engine marketing. Then you have your online banner ads. Now here, this would be apart from, so in search and marketing also you have display advertising. So display advertising as in like in your particular niche. So if you say are selling a kind of say a travel wear or something, right? Like, or something like uh, guys who are using, like, say, caps or something for trekking, and also there you will look at people who are looking up the travel bloggers, right? Their own blogs that are there, or some information about travel on something. This is how you kind of connect those banner ads there, right? So those, they have certain networks where you can put these ads. These are also apart from the Google ad network, which is the biggest network there, Google Display Network. But there are other networks also come up, and they provide the banner ads as per your particular audience, what most likely which sites or blogs they particularly visit. Then you have video platform as majorly obviously YouTube. Then, but there are various other platforms also. Every social media platform have videos also. So uh, how you kind of define, so you have skippable ads, then you have ads, which are in placement ads there on the side and all. You would have banner, some ad, and also various different kinds of ad formats. In video platform, they get the most amount of engagement, right? Like, you can get a lot of metrics, very important, like how much time they've seen your ad, or you know how many ads maybe they have skipped or something like that, or how many ads have led to a person, clicking and then going to your site or something. So, and what point, during that, so which part of your, till what point, the ad is connecting more or something like that. So many great data you can get out of this. Also, it is most in terms of the end product that you would want maximum people to go on to your from your particular ad to your particular landing page. Then you will have affiliate marketing. So I had covered this in my social media marketing as well. So it's obviously, it is a cross of social media and performance marketing, because obviously maximum bang for your buck in affiliate marketing is with the social media influencers or nano influencers, where you would get most probably your the sales in it, right? Uh, Here, I would say the main thing that would come in affiliate is your commission structure. So there are certain networks, and also your commissions vary as per the product or the this thing. They even, like, say, direct affiliate programs. So many brands have got, even Amazon have an affiliate program, and also anyone can kind of join up in that. And then once they have those Amazon links and all, in their description, you must have seen many influencers having it, so they get a certain amount of commission on that thing. So that is a performance thing, because as a marketer, you would want that particular a specific, right? So I have a certain amount of budget, so I give it for the affiliate marketing, right? Like, very it's 100% performance. If a sale happens, only then they get paid. So very important form of performance marketing is affiliate marketing, and this is a very important one. E-commerce aggregator marketplace. See, because today you have, for everything you have, you're a kind of a marketplace or aggregator. E-commerce. So e-commerce, I would say, example, say like say Amazon is there. Aggregator, I would say, like say Make My Trip, and marketplace uh, would be like an Indian, the bazaar or something like. Sorry, there are some for the trade. Buyer meets seller in. Like for industrial tools and all that. I'm not remembering the names and all that. So I would say that was like out and out marketplace. So in these, all of them, because of the amount of people who come on these platforms and the popularity, they all have a kind of a some indirect kind of advertising or something, even because that is a huge revenue stream for them. Like on Zomato and all, you must be seeing the sponsored restaurants and all, right? They are not as per what you have searched for, but they just come up. So this is all a marketing. So as a marketer, you have to market on these more popular marketplaces that are there, and that would come under performance marketing in terms of like, you would, if you're spending that much amount, you would want that amount of sale. So that would be specifically performance marketing. So there is a complete, I mean, there are Amazon marketing specialists also is becoming that, because the amount of, like say on FMCG, or you have say cosmetics or something, you are getting say 70% of your sale from Amazon only. And so many products which are say D2C, you are getting 60 to 70% from say Amazon and Flipkart. Your particular, because people are discovering you. No one is magically googling you. They don't know your brand and then they are going to you, right? It'll take a long time in the SEO process. So the faster thing is that you are well represented on these platforms. Like you optimize your profile, there are hundreds of things to do on that. How we optimize on these marketplaces, and then you go along, and they have various sponsored ways, and kind of you can say advertisements that are running within that, those platforms. And also that's how they kind of monetize their own platforms more and more. And how you can kind of make sure, like because of the amount of traffic that they are getting, you can get the more sale through these particular platforms. Awesome. So I think we will be wrapping up. I think I've covered all the points. Q&A for this particular like is not that relevant, because then in a Q&A we would get to specifics of the Google ads. How do you optimize them, or how do you optimize Facebook, which is a very vast field and all, right? There are millions of things within that, like how you have to do it. Like it is I would feel you look up so many resources and all, but it is mostly a trial and error, where if you are just starting out, you should try out with a mini budget, right? You can invest a little bit of your own money and how to do it, because honestly, it is only through this thing. How many ever courses or whatever you do in Google advertising or Facebook, Insta, all this advertising on major platforms, is only when you use these particular platforms. And every platform is more or less very unique. So what would apply for a Google advertising would not apply for Facebook advertising. So you have to get deeper into those platforms. There is an, see, end of the day, it is a kind of an advertising only, because you are putting in money outright. You don't know what you're going to get in return. So you have to go on these platforms, experiment, start with smaller budgets, and then kind of try to grow it. So get to know more about the platform advertising, what your target audience is really interested in, what is clicking for them. Can be creative in a way also, that there are various ways in which, what would see, end of the day, say if you're making a a video ad or something, you have to know like what would, like, it's a creative thing, like what would interest the viewer, right? So you have to use those things as a creative angle also. So it's a very vast field, and the more you do it only, you get more idea about it. uh, I would say in terms of performance marketing as a field, um, it is quite, you can say, competitive now because of the so many brands that are into it. But I would say it's something that it will kind of grow going forward. There will be quite a few more platforms coming up. Google will have various, like for example, uh, there are so many, like in Google, in the maps, you have now paid advertising within that, right? So everywhere on the platforms, when you're paying, it's a kind of a performance marketing. So these new kind of avenues will keep coming up, and the performance marketers have to kind of identify these and try to optimize their particular business's performance on these particular platforms. So thank you, thanks a lot, thanks for joining me. I wish you all the best in your performance marketing, and many more episodes now coming up. So please be tuned in. Follow me on LinkedIn so that you can get all these episodes and all. And definitely we'll be having these. This is my effort in trying to inform you about different kinds of marketing and all. My effort also, it's a kind of a division for me also. There's so many teaching you as an audience also, and I'm getting more and more idea of these when you look into it even more, in terms of as topics and what all options are there as a marketer, and what are there. So it's, I think, definitely a mutual beneficial experience for us for having these particular sessions. Thanks a lot. I'll see you. Take care.